Hello and good day! This is Kusisai and welcome to my channel. Our topic today is online exclusive Master Grade 1100 Skill Gundam Astray Mirage Frame 2nd issue. Appearance on Mobile Suit Gundam Seed vs Astray. Now, the moment they announced this model kit, I immediately decided that I'm definitely going to buy it because it has my favorite colors, which are purple and pink. I do hope this is a sign that we will get more of the no-grade seed kits to have Master Grade version in the future. The suggested retail price of this model kit is around... The first batch was on November 2025 and today is the second batch at February 2026. But despite all that, most online sellers are still selling them, exceeding the suggested retail price way too much. Like I saw one selling it around $100 for the model kit. So I highly recommend to properly double check and research Gunpla stores who sells the model kit in a reasonable price. Yes, this is a very good and fun model kit to build, but it's not worth more than $100 since most of the runners are still the reused Astray runners from 2010. With all that said, here we go! The announcement of having the Mirage Astray 2nd issue getting a Master Grade treatment definitely made me very excited. And then I realized it was Premium Bandai. So I just let out a big sigh. Definitely the best change or improvement they made from the no-grade version into the Master Grade version is firstly the Bug's Horns redesign. I believe the Master Grade version definitely is a better bug horn. Lastly, the Brute Form's back leg. I know they are following the source material, but no matter how much I look at it, it just looks very uncomfortable. So I am thankful for the change in the Master Grade version. Only questions now are we going to get the first issue, which is the starting form of Mirage Astray, and also third issue, which is the same with the second issue, just a darker color on the purple parts. Neck is in a double ball joint, so it can rotate side to side, and chicken neck. Full arm rotate 360, full arm raise this high, can go higher if you open the shoulder armor, full arm can rotate 360, half of the forearm can move forward, full elbow bend, hand in the ball joint, 3-1 thumb hand, torso can go side to side, ab crunch and arch back. Waist joint can rotate 360, but it collides with the back armor, side skirt armor in a ball joint, front skirt armor can raise this high, back armor has limited raise, forward and backward leg raise, impressive side split, upper circular peg can rotate 360 but too tight, leg has limited rotation due to the thigh armor, full knee bend, ankle armor is a double ball joint, so it can rotate and pivot. Same with the foot, it can rotate and pivot. Now time for another articulation parts that are related to the transformation. The foot claw can expand, the claw connector in a hinge joint, and the claw is in a hinge joint. Forearm claw is in a hinge joint, then the claw is in a hinge joint. Brute head can move upward, and it also can move side to side. Time to talk about the option parts. We have two katanas, but only one's covered, and it grips to the hand very securely. The beam rifle, which also connects to the hand securely. The shield, which will always be only connected to the back armor. Beam saber and beam saber effect. The jagged edge beam saber effect is the one preferred to use, but using the straight one is still an option. Also, the beam saber is sadly very easy to disconnect when bumped, and those are the option parts that needs to be attached. Now let's talk about other weapons that are already attached. The head Vulcan, but sadly I couldn't tell where it's located. I would assume it's the bottom black part. A small claw anchor that is attached in the forearm, and lastly another claw anchor that is attached in the foot. Here we have Brute Mode. Surprisingly, transforming it is easy. You literally just pose the mobile suit to look like a canine while extending the claw parts to finalize the form. Also, it's a little cute on how the beam saber handles now looks like an ear of a dog.
ガンプラ決められた運命か抗う自由か HG ライジングフリーダムガンダム HG イモータルジャスティスガンダム発売中ラインアップ続々登場
Now for the weapons in Brute Mode. The shoulder rifle is facing backwards when in Tyrant Mode. Only in Brute Mode where the rifle is facing forward. The shield still use the same with Tyrant Mode. You attach it to the back armor, which makes the shield act as a tail, I guess. An armored tail? For the rifle, you move the handle to the right, then slide the rifle to the mount. And here is the rifle attached to the mobile suit. Last but not least, the small beam saber effect. You attach it to the mouthpiece to make it look like a fang. You can rotate the fang, but it's preferred to be downward. By the way, if you want, you can still use the long beam saber effects. And here it is with all those option parts attached to the mobile suit in Brute Mode. Only the katana and scabbard are not used or stored. I guess it just magically appears and disappears whenever it's transforming. Let's start with the Tyrant Mode. For the minor issues, so about the head, it connects properly, but when you touch it, it feels something off. I do suggest gluing it. The side-carried armors are connected in a ball joint, which enables it to move whatever a ball joint allows. But I do recommend just gluing it. Those things just keeps on popping off during my recordings. The purple thrusters on the back leg on rare occasion would pop off when handled in the wrong angle. Same thing with the front skirt armor. Since it doesn't block the ties, I suggest just gluing it too. It also keeps popping off during my recordings. The beam saber handle, just glue those two pieces. When removing the beam saber effect, it has a tendency to disassemble. The backpack connector at rare times would pop off. So far, the transformation doesn't involve it to be removed, so I'm thinking of just gluing it. There is a small chance of the blade being stuck in the scabbard, which disconnects the blade from the hilt. So glue it. You're not going to use the shield to the forearm, so just don't bother putting the forearm connector. It's always in the back armor anyways. They bothered to give us a new jagged beam saber effect, yet recycle the short beam saber effect from the Master Grade H kit. Make it worse, from the distance, you can't even tell the jagged beam saber effect from the recycled long beam saber effect. They gave us the boring silver plastic runner for the blades, so better start using those chrome silver markers. Since the ankle is a double ball joint and connected to a polycap, on a very rare occasion, it will fall down backwards because all the weight is in the back, and the hand on some moments will pop off, especially in the transformation sequence. So time to use some tissues or those joint tightening penting. All these minor issues can be solved with just the joint tightening penting, but I think glue would just permanently solve it. Then again, these minor issues are just nitpicks of mine. It's pretty much negligible. And that's the minor issues on Tyrant Mode. Time now for the Brute Mode. No minor issues, since it just shares the same with the Tyrant Mode. But on the major issues, the canine head, it doesn't clip to anything at all. And there is a huge gap if you look from the side. Trying to make it look symmetrical and stand on the claws is quite challenging. Knob marks located on visible areas. The way the leg connector is built is supposed to give an excellent range of leg movement. But this circular peg is so tight that the only way to rotate it is to remove the entire leg. But despite all that, it's still hard to rotate. Now for my personal issues. I wasn't expecting they would be using the old 3-1 thumb hand again. Since the recent release Astray kit used the swappable finger option hands, I find the decals a little underwhelming. Kinda wish they made bigger decals, like the recent Seed model kits. Nendoroid Umaru, Figma Kuroko Shirai, Blacky Soundwave, High Grade G-Line Standard Armor, And Master Grade Enhanced Double Zeta Gundam Verka. Definitely the occurring problem you will be facing in this model kit is some parts falling or popping off. Good thing attaching them back is not a problem. Slightly disappointing that it reused the old frame, then again it gets the job done. So it's just me nitpicking again on unimportant matters. What I like the most what they did for this model kit is they gave it a free action base, despite it has no standing issue at all. I won't be surprised if we do transformation only once, just to see how it would look and feel the sequence. But yes, most of the time you'll just keep it in mobile suit mode. With all that said, I'm giving this a score of 4 out of 5 stars. A highly recommended model kit to add to your collection, especially if you're a Seed fan. Thank you for watching, and with that said, till next time.
もう一度この手にチャンスを全てこの胸の中にしまっておこう夢が叶うまで